Hey, how's everybody doing? So today we're going to be talking about a little bit of a funnier topic, and I know you don't know very much about it, and
Not really.
so today, as the title suggests, we're going to be talking about Ted Cruz and whether or not he is the Zodiac Killer. Now, I know a lot of people are covering this, and it's hilarious for a number of reasons. Okay, I'm going to tell you a few things, and we're just going to laugh at them.
I know this is a thing. I don't really know anything about it.
But you don't know the extent of it being a thing. Basically, it's just people who think, or it starts as a joke. People think that Ted Cruz, or just say that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer because he looks kind of like the drawing of it. What if I told you that there was a poll done in Florida asking people whether or not they think Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer, and 10% of people are 100% sure that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. Just to give you some perspective, there's like 19.98 million people in Florida, which means almost 2 million people are 100% sure that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. What would you say to that?
I have so many things I want to say to that. Who did the poll?
I think it's PPP, so it's public policy polling, I think.
Why?
Okay. Now, on top of that,
Okay, so
on top of the 2 million people who are 100% sure, 28% of Floridians are at least open to the idea that he's the Zodiac Killer. Almost 40% of people are like, yeah, I guess Ted Cruz could be the Zodiac Killer, despite the fact that Ted Cruz is 45 years old, which means he was between -3 and -4 years old when the Zodiac killings first started.
It could still be him.
What do you make
It could
of
still
that?
be him. Do we really know for sure?
Okay, so I think the only logical argument then is not only is Ted Cruz the Zodiac Killer, he's also a time traveler.
Oh, yeah.
So he traveled into the past, murdered a bunch of people in San Francisco, and then came back to the future. And maybe, because the Zodiac Killer has that coded language that nobody's been able to decrypt, maybe Ted Cruz traveled into the future, learned a new language that's highly advanced, went to the past, murdered a bunch of people, and now is running for president. Yeah. I think it's possible.
It's easily plausible.
I like the fact that someone went into Florida and said, "Hey, do you think Ted Cruz is a Zodiac Killer?"
Everybody's just
And a tenth of people are like, "Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's the Zodiac Killer."
I wonder if they were all just people who didn't like Ted Cruz. They were just
I don't
like,
know.
oh yeah, definitely the Zodiac
So part
Killer.
of me feels like some people are just joking, and it's like, yeah, sure, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. That's hilarious. And then 28% of people are like, I don't know, I guess he could be the Zodiac Killer, just as much as the person doing the poll could be the Zodiac Killer. No one knows who the Zodiac Killer is. Do you have any more thoughts on it?
I mean, it's amazing, really, that many people.
I'm glad
that something that is well, I guess when you think about this election, it really isn't. I mean, facts aren't really very important to a lot of people.
Okay, so I think what I really hope happens is that this gets popular enough that Donald Trump is like, hey, Ted Cruz hasn't said he's not the Zodiac Killer.
Did he actually say that?
No, I'm saying I hope that's what happens. I hope that it gets big enough
because
that
Donald Trump will say that.
I hope that Donald Trump hears about this and says, well, he hasn't said that he's not the Zodiac Killer. I mean, why wouldn't you just say you're not the Zodiac Killer if you're not the Zodiac Killer? I want there to be another Republican debate, and I want someone to tell Donald Trump about that just so he can do that. I want to see that happen.
Many have said that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. What are your thoughts on this? That's somehow relevant to anything. He's going to be like, yep. Definitely should be cast to the other side of the wall.
Yeah.
We're going to build a wall, a huge wall around Ted Cruz so he doesn't kill any more people.
He came from Canada. He could be the Zodiac Killer. I don't know those Canadians. They're pretty shifty. What? They could be. He could be the Zodiac. He's not saying that he's not the Zodiac Killer.
We're going to make Ted Cruz pay for his wall.
Can we trust this guy, really? I think that's case open and closed. Ted Cruz, without a doubt, according to the research done here at Carl and Ben, is definitely the Zodiac Killer. Do you think Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer? Let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know what you think about the fact that almost 40% of people in Florida are at least open to the idea that Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. Not that I saw. I know that they just, for some reason, pulled to Florida.
Because I really want to see that. If you haven't already, please be sure to follow us on our social media that will appear on our faces, as well as subscribing if you haven't already and you want to see more content like this, and leaving a like if you liked the video, a dislike if you didn't, and telling us why in the comments with your suggestions and your comments to Ben's questions.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you all again next time. Bye.